and welcome back to Green Magnolias. My name is Alma. This is a channel where I just chat about books, things I'm making, ideas I have, and yeah, so it's been a minute. I have a lot I want to share with you in regards to books and some things that I'm making. So right now I am preparing myself a cup of tea, and then I'm going to set up myself at my desk, I think. My plan is to add a few things to my list of things I've read for the year and share a few of my favorites so far. I have been reading nonstop. I almost went into oh my god, I don't even remember what it's called right now. Wow, I need caffeine. A book slump. I almost went into a book slump the other day. But I'm reading multiple books right now. So yeah, I will share that with you as well. And yeah, I have just been reading. Work's been busy, life's been busy, and also just kind of like picking up and filming. I just haven't had that motivation, but I feel a little bit motivated right now, so I thought I'd take advantage of it. I am in I haven't worn this in a little bit in a video, but in my avocado snuggle thing that I got for like $1, I think, at Walmart a long time ago. Okay, hello, I am at my desk. So if you see me like looking this way, I'm looking at on my screen. I have a cup of tea and a mug that says "Buy me books and tell me I'm pretty." I got it as a birthday gift or Christmas gift last year. So let's get right on into it. I don't know what I said in my last video, but if I repeat myself, pardon me. So I finished, for the most part, The Others by Anne Bishop. I still need to read, I kind of read it out of order. I need to read Crow Bones, which is the last one of like the second part of The Others. I have that out, and then I also took out Anne Bishop's collection of short stories, and there's a couple of like revisitings of like The Others in there, which I'm really excited to reread because it's so good. After I finished reading that, I wanted to start it all over again. It has officially moved up in rank as my favorite series ever. I don't have like I think it's impossible to have a singular favorite book. My husband's like, "What's your favorite book of all time?" And I'm just like, I can't. They're all so different. They all have different elements of just kind of like a feeling they gave me. I just can't have one favorite. But that series, I still got chills, teary-eyed. It's the suspense, even though I know what was gonna happen. I felt the anger of like what was happening. I really need to do another sit-down video and properly review it with spoilers and everything. Not for like to give it away for people, but just to like really express how good of a book series it is and how different it is. And it's urban fantasy. I read a plethora of like werewolf shifters, vampire, all kinds of stuff, and a lot of it kind of follows the same type of how would one say this, kind of like, some like the lore follows the same lore of what's behind, vampires, werewolves, and stuff like that. But this was just so different and impactful. I just can't shut up about it. Every time at work, if my coworkers ask like, "Oh, what's your favorite book?" or whatever, I have to control myself. If not, I'm just gonna go like on a rampage. So I finished that. I think in my last video I said that I finished Pride and Prejudice, and I was disappointed. Honestly, like maybe if I read it when I was younger, it would have been more impactful for me. And I think people like the movie more than the book. Again, I'll have to like maybe reread the book again at some point. Like it was funny, and like, I knew going in it wasn't like a romance book. It's a book describing society at the time and the inner workings and and all that stuff. I get that. It was good. It was good. It was a good time. So, let's see. What else? Okay, I finally finished Ilona Andrews' Hidden Legacy series, finishing it off with Ruby Fever. That finishes off Catalina's side of the story. I wasn't going to finish the series anytime soon, but I kind of just needed something that like I kind of already knew the characters and it was easy to follow along, like not kind of like jump into like a new world. And well, I loved the first half. I forget the first sister's name, the oldest sister. Amazing. I couldn't put it down. I like literally finished that in like a weekend, like the first 3 books. And then there's like a novella, kind of like the wedding of Nevada. Nevada, her name is Nevada, of her wedding with I forget his name now. Shame on me. And then it goes introduces Catalina, which we already knew about her, but kind of like her perspective. And then it goes into her like taking over the house, and Nevada's moving, and you know, Mad Rogan, that's his name, came to me all of a sudden. And like, it was good. You know, I kind of, you know, it ended on like Nevada's story ended like revealing this one guy, and I'm like, oh, okay. And it kind of doesn't touch back on it again, but then how it concluded, I was like, ah, okay, I get it. I didn't like it that much. A patron that's like, you have to read it, I always go back to that one. It's so good. Keep reading, keep going. I was like, okay, I will keep going. And I think because maybe how the narrator did it, because I was listening to it via audiobook. Catalina is a siren. I was telling my coworker about this. She was like, what the heck? So she's a siren, right? And it's very rare, pretty much what a siren does. She can make people easily fall in love with her, so she has to like really suppress her power. Like that's, she has to suppress her power a lot. And as sirens are depicted in literature and stuff like that, and folklore and legend, they sing and entice and, you know, control the mind of men at sea and whatnot. And she did that. She has wings that like entice and entrance and blah blah blah. And she also sings, right? And it just took me out of like being in the book every time she sang, because God bless. What Ilona Andrews like used as like, I mean, I don't know what I would use. I can't even say like, oh, I would have used this better, but it was just like so weird. She would be like, come to me, or like, mama's gonna buy you. Like, it was like these nursery rhymes, and I was just like, excuse me. It was just like really off-putting. And I don't know, her like, I mean, I understood her character development of like, all of a sudden she became the head of the house, and she, you know, the responsibility of her family was on her and all that stuff. So like, I get those elements. But sometimes what I struggle with is like that continuous inner monologue of like, oh, like I'm not good, or like, oh, I'm failing, da 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 da. It's just like, oh, okay, you're good. I mean, like, perfect example. Because I saw I was getting a movie adaptation, and I was just like, oh, I could use kind of like a cheeky, not cheeky, but like I could use like a romantic-y, just fun thing. And I picked up The Wolf King by Lauren Palfreyman. I think that's how you say her last name. And I'm reading it. I'm like, oh, this is good, or whatever. Fun, you know, kind of like the Scottish people are werewolves, and the English, you know, they're war and blah, blah, blah. She gets taken, and she's kind of slowly starting awakening, kind of like typical, like nothing too deep. And she's going to marry this horrible person. And the guy that took her was like, hey, you know, like, you don't have to go back, and this and this and that. And she just kept having that inner monologue of, oh, I gotta, you know, I'm gonna go marry this awful man. Like, no, you have the option there to not. I know it's part of the story, I get it, but it's just like the repetition of it, and just kind of like, okay, you're good. Like, you're good, whatever. Annoying. So I I like DNF'd it. I was just like, you know what? I can't. I understand why it's popular. Like, and oh, and then also the fact that the whole first guy she's with is most likely not Endgame, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm good. I've never liked love triangles. I can't even think of one that I read well, because I just don't like that aspect of like you're reading a book and I'm like, oh my god, this chemistry is off the charts. Oh yes, 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 the serpent. Oh my god, where is it? Is it down here? I read that. Um, it's a new. It has a different name. So if I can find it. I don't know if I ever talked about it on here. Hold on. Where would that be? That was a while ago. That was a while ago. Where was I even reading that? I had to be on my reading app. Holy crap, it was like a long time ago. That was this year, wasn't it? Oh my god, no, it wasn't. It was that Serpent King. Originally, the name was called Split or something like that. It is hot. It is fun. I'm like, oh my god, this is like the most fun I've had in a minute reading a book. And then I come to find out that she's not gonna end up with the first guy. Oh my god, I was pissed. I was like, I returned it. I was like, no, absolutely not. I will not suffer like this. And then I even like went as far to like scour, because the second book I come out, I like scoured the internet. I'm like, what happens? I'm fine if it's a spoiler, like what happens? I might still read it. And like to find out what happens, spoiler, I was like, oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I gave up on that. I was like, no, 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 no. So anyways, back to I did finish Hidden Legacy. Fun, good time. Again, the first three books are way better. In my opinion, I really like Nevada's character and chemistry with Rogan better than, I mean, it was good. Like, don't get me wrong, like Catalina's story was good. The like suspense, the action was all still there, and just like the twists and turns and the revelation in the book 3 was really fun. So I really did like that. Where are we? So then I picked up Agnes Sharp's Murder Mysteries. It's book 1 by, I want to say, Leonie Swan, and it is translated from, she's a German author, and it was really fun. It pretty much is a house of retired elderly people. Instead of like going to a home, she created this house for her friends and herself, because they don't want to be put in a home where they become like zombies. And it's, you know, kind of a conversation of like nursing homes, what you end up like or what they're like, and you kind of like lose yourself. They didn't want to lose themselves, you know, they wanted their own like reason, like if they're ready to go from being senile or you know, they all have their reasons. They had a place where they can go how they wanted to, instead of just being like zombified with drugs and stuff like that. So there's a murder on their grounds, and then there's a murder next door, and we're in the inner monologue of Agnes Sharp. So there's a lot of you know, forgetting, and just, it was really good. It was really fun. It was funny, and like the whole slew of characters in the house was, there were riot. It was also like really moving and sad, but it was good. You know, I really liked that. She wrote Three Bags Full, which has been turned into The Sheep Detective, which I watched the other day with my husband and son. I started reading Sheep Detective. I got to like one chapter, and I returned it because there was like a lot of holds on it. We only have one copy in the library. So I just returned it, and I was like, yeah, let's go watch the movie. And it was so good. I like heaved bawled my eyes out at the end. I won't spoil it, but even from like the bad, they really did change from what I read for what was in the movie. So I did borrow it again to see what the difference is. So I'm gonna try to read that. I got it like the ebook, so I'm gonna see what I can do about reading that. And then what else? So I read Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I was able to get my hands on the audiobook, and I got the physical book, and it was really good. I still have to say, out of all of the books I read, Mistborn is still my favorite. I just like the concept. And Elantris was really good. The concept was really cool, really sad, but like a happy ending compared to, not that Mistborn wasn't a happy ending, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. And Stormlight Archive, it wasn't an unhappy ending either, technically, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. It read really well. It was very interesting. The like political dynamic, the world building, the what was behind everything. So pretty much like Elantris is like, there's these Elantrians who you can turn into Elantrian and you're like God, you can have these powers and stuff like that, but then the Riot happens, which is like an event, and the Elantrians fall, and that causes like this upheaval, change in political workings and system. The Elantrians are like an ailment now, so we find out, you know, are they an ailment, what happened, and all that stuff. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Let's see, I have like, again, my list up here. Anything else over here? I didn't talk about that. I talked about that. Okay, so I did also take out the Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson, which is the next era after Mistborn, like years after what happens. But I decided that I want to read through Mistborn again and then pick up Alloy Law. Brandon Sanderson does a really good job of like going over, you know, like recapping pretty much. But I kind of want to read it all over again. I guess so, but I like return that because, like I said, I want to reread it. I read 3 Nights of Sin by Anne Mallory. That was really fun. Pretty much, there's like a murdering spree going on. It's a historical romance, and her brother gets accused of it. They're like a family close to destitute, like a family of the Ton. They're just like kind of like, oh, I gotta return that to my boss. And so she goes to, I forget his name. She goes to Gabriel for help because he kind of like is like a fixer, I guess you could say. Gabriel Noble, and it's like really dark. Trigger warning, like super dark themes. Really horrible things have happened to him and are happening, and it's like really intense, but the chemistry was great. I really liked it. I really liked their character and dynamic, and yeah, that was really fun. The other day I just finished like one of my favorite books of the year, I have to say. I was scrolling through our reading app for my local library and just kind of seeing what was there, and I came across it and I was like, oh, that sounds good. Actually, no, wait, I gotta backtrack. Rewind, because I picked up my Kindle. I don't know if I talked about it in my last video. I should have rewatched it. So I picked up my Kindle, which I don't read on my Kindle as much anymore. I really wish I had a tablet with all my reading apps. I think I would use it a lot more, personally, because I have the ebooks I want to read and stuff like that, or I don't necessarily want to haul around like a physical book. But I'm really struggle reading on my phone. I'm not very good at it. I want a bigger, not just necessarily font, like screen space. I guess that's my age showing. But I picked up, which I got from a Stuff Your Kindle Day, whatever, Abducted by Miwa Lee. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Let me tell you, that unlocked like a microtrope that I'm just like, what is this? So we all know about marriage of convenience. We all know about like, hey, we gotta get married. I need an heir. Like that's all. Like no love. Like I'm just, I have my life. And then they fall in love, and his this cold stone heart begins to warm, and like he just protect her and everything. Well, abducted. The premise is that our main female character gets taken off the street, aka abducted. You know what I'm saying. And in the carriage, there is another person who has been taken off the street. Bags over their head, hands tied. What the heck? And they're like panicking, and he's like trying to calm her down. That is just like a regular thing for him. She's like, what the heck? And she is of the ton, not like super like elite, but like, she is known. So they're like, what the heck? And their captors are like, you need to do it and get pregnant, or you're not gonna come out of here alive. I'm just like, excuse me? What? I couldn't put it down. I couldn't put it down. So they're like, they don't know what each other looks like. They're tied up. They're like in this kind of like shabby shack. And he's trying to like, oh my God, we're, trying to calm her down. And she's like hysterical, and she's calmed down, and they're talking. And eventually comes to the point of like, hey, you guys gotta do it. Okay, team, this is like maybe not everyone's cup of tea. It was consensual. It was not like anything horrible. But the chemistry was off the charts. I seriously could not put it down. I have not like devoured a book so heavily in a little bit. And yeah, so they do it one time, and it's like her first time and all this stuff, and he's like so like careful and like, oh my God, but he's like trying to like not get himself killed. There's like secret identity and all this stuff. So they do escape, and they see who like what they look like and all this stuff, and he's a lawyer that helps the poor and blah blah blah. Again, there's secret identity, and someone like is behind all this, and like they meet, and it's just there's a lot more to it. But I was like, okay, this is like a marriage of convenience. I need an heir times 1,000. This was like amazing. I really enjoyed it. 5 out of 5. Good time, great writing. I loved it. And then as I'm perusing, as I said earlier, through our reading app, I come across Darius, Lord of Pleasures, the first book in the Lonely Lord series. Let me tell you. So was this the thing that got me? Okay, so this is the description. Darius is a gripping and remarkable tale of desperation, devotion, and redemption from award-winning, okay, blah, 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 Gray Sparrows. That's the author. Okay, no, that's not what I wanted to read. With his beloved sister tainted by scandal, his widowed brother shattered by grief, and his funds cut off, Darius Lindsay sees no option but to sell himself body and soul. Until the day he encounters lovely, beguiling Lady Vivian Longstreet, whose tenderness and understanding wrap his soul in grace he knows he'll never deserve. Okay. I read a better synopsis than that. But anyway, so we have Lady Vivian, who is married to an old man who lost his 2 sons. He lost his wife a long time ago, and as kind of like a companionship, like protecting thing for Vivian, he marries her because her stepfather is a terrible human. But now like what he's like significantly older. She wasn't like too young, right? She's like a spinster for the time or whatever. She's like 25, 28. But he's like worried about her because since he has no heirs, it's like, okay, everything's gonna be taken by the crown, because like his whole like lineage thing is like really old and really deep. So since there's no heirs, it's just gonna get absorbed back to the crown, which that's what happened back then. So they scheme up a plan to find her a gentleman who will give her a child, and he will like claim the child, legitimize the child, all this stuff. So she like picks Darius because she's heard some things and she's seen him from afar, and she's like, yeah, I will, if you really want to do this, you know, because she's like really reluctant, but he's like, you know, I need to take care of you, and like I can't, I'm old, I can't do nothing. You know. And he's also like, it's really like a marriage of friendship because he like loved his wife that he was with for like 30 years. So I really liked him. He was good. So they pick Darius. He interviews him and he's like, what the heck? No, like, what do you think I am? A stud? Blah, blah, blah. But with some negotiations, he agrees. For 1 month, they'll be together like during Christmas time, and they will do the thing and have a baby. And let me tell you, this was the most beautiful, just amazing book I've read in such, like, the concept of it. Again, another like level up of like marriage of convenience. I need an heir, like times 1,000. I just, oh my god, I can't. It was such a good time. It was such a good time, but it was so beautiful because Darius is like this caring. He takes care of his sisters. He also has this child. It's not really a spoiler. It's revealed quite quickly that it's not his child, but he's raising it. He was with the mother, and he like took care of her. And he's just like that guy that knows what a woman needs. You know what I'm saying? In every aspect of the word, of like intimately, or just, you know, like when she finally goes over there, you know, they're like talking and she's like really nervous and all this stuff, and she like doesn't want to do this. She feels like, you know, they're dealing with like shame and just like, oh, but you know, he's trying to take care of you and don't think anything of it. It's not that complicated. I mean, it's a huge, like, this, if you might not be comfortable with this concept, but it didn't give like the ick of cheating or anything like that. Again, the marriage that she had with Lord Longstreet was of like friendship and companionship, because, you know, they both cared for his wife, and she was like, please take care of him when I pass. And the dying wife to him was like, please take care of her after I pass, because again, her stepfather's a piece of crap. So it's like this blooming just devotion and just like caringness, and it was just phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. So like, obviously they slowly fall in love, and but it's like a temporary thing, you know. And she's like conflicted, you know. She's also worried about him because she knows what he does, and she's like, you deserve better than this. Like, why do you do this to yourself? Because of like what he does with the ladies. It's kind of humiliate. Well, he doesn't think anything of it. He's just like, this is what I gotta do. You know, I gotta try to raise this kid. I gotta try to help my sister who was like ruined and get back into society, and his dad's a piece of crap and all this stuff. His poor brother, you know, all these things. So he's like kind of like trying to carry the family in any way that he can. So he just, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. But she's like, no, you deserve better than this. You don't deserve these women to humiliate you and like treat you like crap and all this stuff. And so like together they realize all these things about love, and it's just, so it's kind of like a reverse. Like, you know, they do the thing or whatever, they separate, and like, oh my god, I really wish, sorry, I'm like, I'm all over the place, but I'm telling you, this book was like 10 out of 10, so amazing. But I seriously wish that he was with her, like took care of her and stuff like that during the pregnancy, because I would have been like, oh my god, I can't even say it. It would be just amazing, because of just like how he was, like how caring, and like he was just thinking ahead. Because when she comes at the beginning of their encounter period, she comes on her like period. He like asks her to like, when you come, like, make, you know, that it starts at your period and then we go from there, not like, oh, I'm gonna have my period maybe at the end of the month, you know, because he's like all knowledgeable about things. I'm telling you. And it was just, and he was just like so confident, and just, but like at the same time, you know, he was just trying to take care of her. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. 10 out of 10. I want this on my shelf Lestat, and there's 9 books, each following a lonely lord dealing with something. One of the books I think book 2 follows like his sister and her relationship that she gets in this book. It's not like a spoiler or anything, and kind of like dealing with that. But oh my god, Grace Barrows writes beautifully. I don't think I've ever read anything of hers, but I cannot recommend it enough. 10 out of 10. So beautiful. It's hot, steamy, sweet, loving, and like at the end I was just like, I don't want it to end. It was so beautiful. Really beautifully done. So what else? I feel like I've read a lot more. Oh, my coworker told me to read it, and I read it, and I was like, this is really nice. A Psalm of the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. It's a short little sci-fi about robots leave Earth, or like, hey, they become sentient, we want to do our own thing. The people are like, okay, yeah, go, sorry, and like they learn how to live without robots. So we follow Dex, a T-monk, and their journey. It's just pretty much like a tale of purpose. Like, what is purpose anymore? What do you do in life? It was really nice. There's a second book that I'm actually probably gonna finish today. Again, it's like super short. It was like a 4-hour. The first book was a 4-hour audiobook. The second book is barely 4 hours. And so yeah, it's been centuries since the robots of Panga gained self-awareness and laid down their tools. Centuries since they wandered in masses into the wilderness, never to be seen again. Centuries since they faded into myth and urban legend. One day, the life of a T-monk is upended by the rival robot there to honor the old promise of checking in. The robot cannot go back until the question of what do people need is answered. But the answer to that question depends on who you ask and how. They're going to need to ask it a lot. So, yeah, it was really thought-provoking and moving, and just at the end I was like really like tearing up. Because what like the main character, is it Dex? Yeah, Dex does is they're a tea monk, right? And what they do is they prepare tea and like listen. It's kind of like a bar type situation. So they listen to the person of what their ailments or worries and concerns are, and they make the perfect brew for them in the spot, and like they listen, and I was really beautiful. I really liked it. It's a good time. Like, it was like really good. Not a good time, like good time, but it was a good time. So yeah. Okay, I've been rambling. Oh, this let me share with what I am reading. I am, is it here? Okay, I am doing a reread of my other favorite book ever, which kind of, I'm thinking back, this kind of like started unlocking a certain trope of like teach me before I get married type of situation, you know what I'm saying? I've read this, annotated this to high heaven, and I'm doing another read through via audiobook because the audiobook is like amazing. Cross is like up there, and Darius is up there too now. He's up there in my like top 5 BFFs, boyfriends forever. So yeah, I'm rereading this audiobook, just kind of like here and there. I'm reading book 2 of, let's see, let me go back, current. And so I'm reading A Prayer of the Crown Shy. That's book 2. One Good Earl Deserves a Lover by Sarah McLean. I cannot recommend that enough. And then I tried reading this earlier, and I was just like, I can't. But I picked it up again. This is on my shelf. And I started listening to the audiobook. I did not want to put it down. It's gonna be good. I remember my father got me, I forget which one, Pillars of the Earth or Outworld's End, I forget which one. Brought it to me, paperback, from like Walgreens, and I sat my ass on the couch and I did not move until I finished it. I like read it in a very short amount of time. It's so good. So I have thrifted. Now this one was bought on Amazon, but otherwise I have thrifted the whole series because this is the prequel, and then it goes into Pillars of the Worlds, At World's End, and then it goes. There's 2 other books after that. So I'm finally gonna read it. Really good. And then I also picked up Dark Fever by Karen Marie Mooney from my local library. It's a thin book. It is a fantasy, kind of like, oh god, I'm knocking everything down. I mean, fantasy and like fae have been around for like a long time, but this is like, you know, has unsealing. I don't know how to say that properly. There's like Irish folklore and stuff like that, so it's pretty good. It's like really early 2000s. When was this written? I read Immortal Highlander before. It's like some that time travel. It was really good. Yeah, 2006. So kind of like the description of the like outfits and stuff like that is quite funny. I can like completely picture it in my head. I'm just like, ooh. Yeah, no, it's pretty good so far. It has like, it's pretty good reviews, so. But yeah, I'm gonna end things here. I think I've rambled enough. Hopefully the audio was okay. I have no idea where I put that little mic set that my husband got me. I don't know. I'm gonna have to scour everything. I obviously didn't share what I'm making. That'll be a separate video. But yeah, excuse me. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you read anything that I've mentioned. Again, I cannot recommend the others enough. I really need to sit down and just like maybe even make notes and just, it's such a good book series. And I hope you check out Darius if you're into that, or Abducted. Please do. I'll try to put pictures as I'm talking, but I'll most likely put everything for the sake of just not so much stress. Just want to talk and film a video. Like I just want to film a video, put it up, not too much to it. But yeah, let me know what you're reading. Let me know your favorite book so far. I really would have to say, besides like the others really putting a mark on my list of like my favorites, I really, really enjoyed Darius. That was so good. It was just beautiful. Okay. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.